Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Welcome, Snakes and Stogies, episode 18.
This is 18.
Ooh, crazy.
Katie is watching Step Brothers with her friend, our friend. So I was like, I'm going to kick it with Phil. Got some new cigars in. I am smoking a Monte Cristo Espada. Fantastic cigars.
I feel like I should go in the house and get that one.
If you want to, buddy.
I already cut an Intemperance, and I haven't had aroma in like a week, so I'm like due. For those of you who are chiming in, Sean from MP Cages and Exotics just texted me asking, what color do I want my custom-built rack to be? And he says, or what? So I'll read you exactly what he said so that everyone can be part of it. So have you truly thought about what you want as for color, ? Or are you just going to let me do whatever I want, LOL? And my reply was, truthfully, fuck it, I trust you. So he replies with famous last words, LOL.
What's up, Dan?
What's up, Dan? TCS. So, you're not watching Step Brothers too?
Huh?
You're not watching Step Brothers as well?
No, I've seen Step Brothers about a million times. So.
Gazillion times, and it's amazing every time. But yeah, I could see.
I mean, I've watched it so many times. I could probably recite that whole movie.
Dan, this one's for you, by the way. I'm trying to look at myself in the camera, and I have like, it's mirrored. And I have like these weird hairs coming down. It's kind of awkward.
I'm more irritated at the fact that I can't see, like, I can't look at who's watching. Like, I don't have. It's not like Instagram where you can look. Oh wait.
But wait, there's more.
Can't. You just hover over. Oh, okay.
I can't see it. I can only look at the live comments. And the private chat, it doesn't even tell me that you messaged me. So unless you like give me like the nose, like I don't even know to look in the private chat. What are we drinking this evening?
I have nothing at the moment.
Nothing.
But I wanted to get into. Oh, it doesn't tell me who it is. It just tells me how. Man.
Herr Wagner.
What, in your opinion, to kick this off, will stick to cigars to start? What constitutes, in your opinion, a good cigar?
I will tell you the same thing I tell people when they ask me about guns, is that I can steer you in the right direction of what a beginner or a person who's a novice or entry level might be aspiring for, but it's to each their own.
Well, I mean, in your personal opinion, like when you're going, no, Dan, we don't. Those are long gone. Haven't had any since. But we have a bunch of Aromacraft Cro-Magnon stuff in like 4 different sizes. Craniums. I mean, like not necessarily like when you're at a shop. I don't know how to word it. Like you have a good cigar in terms of flavor and like what you like about it, and then you have a good cigar in terms of like value. Like what sort of determines when you're picking out cigars? You go into a humidor. What do you look at? Like, okay. What do you?
By the way, Hen Dog in the Heezy.
Hen Dog.
My dog. I'm glad he joined in because we have to talk about the very traumatic morning I and Henry had. And he was there. I wasn't even there, and I'm traumatized. But all ended well. But no,
I'm not even gonna light with the torch. You know what? I'm doing right by this Espada. I'm doing
right by this. It's Espada. Monte Cristo Espada. So when I walked into a humidor, when I started smoking cigars, I had no idea what the hell anything was. I didn't know there was such a thing as Cigar Aficionado magazine. I didn't know that it was a palate that developed over time and alters with time, much like normal taste buds do, or whether you drink friggin' soda or you drink wine. I was unaware of all this. I was like, oh, this smells good. People like this one. Or, wow, that's expensive. It must be fantastic. So I actually went on a very slow personal crusade to basically try everything that I thought looked good or sounded good. And when you go into Cigar Scanner's app, when you rate a cigar, for those of you who don't know, there's an app called Cigar Scanner. It's completely free, and there's over 13,000 bands in their database. And if you don't know what the cigar is by the band, or it's in a different language and you can't decipher it, you can actually take a picture of the band on the cigar, it has to be on the cigar, and it will upload into their database, and they will tell you, hey, it looks like this, it could be one of these, or no, this is definitively X, Y, and Z. So, yo.
What's up, James?
So, before all this, I basically was going off of word of mouth. People say, oh, I like that, or hey, do you like something darker? Do you like something lighter? That's always the famous question. Do you want something darker? Do you want something lighter? I realized that I don't like a super dark cigar, but I do like it to be darker, and I do prefer a more oily cigar. Go-tos for me, like I walk into a place, and let's say I don't have time to peruse. Let's say I don't really know how long I'm going to be there for or whatever. Hands down, Liga Privada number 9 Toro is my go-to. And that's just I love the scent of it, I love the taste of it, I love the draw, the oiliness of it, the burn time, the overall saturation of the wrapper. I like that. That's probably arguably my favorite smoke. An Ashton VSG. Any Ashton VSG. Can't go wrong.
I had one today at work because I had you in mind. I was like, I'm going to smoke a VSG.
I like it.
He's talking about him, and I got easy access to him. So.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, like that's a great thing right there. Padron in a year date series. So whether it be a 24, 26 or a 64, any of the year date smokes, pick a color, pick a band size, whatever, roll with it. Padron, I can dig it. I've had really, really cheap Padrones that were like $4, and like they just had a little brown thing with a letter P on it. Like I don't even know if they make them anymore. That smoke was phenomenal. Was it as good as something that's $18 to $20? No, but it was good. I enjoyed it. So I mean, those three would probably be my because there's a good chance that a decent cigar shop is going to have any of those three,
right?
In any of their corresponding sizes,
and they're actually probably more likely to have Padrones than they are Liga Privada.
I would concur. Simply because
Liga Privada is not easy to get in stores.
Yeah, that is true. I'm spoiled in South Florida because we have a lot of bougie fucks, and they like to get cool stuff. But even still, I mean, everyone. I feel like Padron is almost like Cohiba. Like people just know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the oldest families in cigars. So
right, and I mean that right there. And I don't know, man. I'm kind of a creature of habit, but I force myself not to be with the smokes.
I think that was one of the original families to flee Cuba.
Oh, really?
Back in the day, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't really go wrong with a mid-grade Monte Cristo. I mean, or like, how much did you pay for the Espada?
I got them on Cigar Bid for cheap. So
okay, what are they normally?
These are normally, I think, like 14 a piece.
I was gonna say, by me, it's probably $15-16.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's there's a lot of gimmick shit out there, and there's, as you well know, I'm sure I'm talking to these people, obviously not talking to you, but because you know 10 times more about this shit than I do. But I don't know, man. I feel like to someone who doesn't smoke or use tobacco, whether it be dip or cigarettes or whatever, you got to kind of ease them into it. You know what I mean? And like we were talking about last week or a couple days ago with like the acids and stuff, or like the Java, you know, ease them into something flavored. And then if they're like, oh, I hate this, or oh, this is great. Like, for example, I have a good friend who, he's not a cigar guy, but He likes acids. He smokes all different kinds of acids. I gave him a Java, and he did not like it at all. So, I mean, it's just, you got to kind of roll the dice sometimes. I hate to say it.
Yeah, and that's like the hardest part about my job is you have people who come in and want recommendations, and you more or less have to taste these things for them.
Right. Now, let me ask you, do you have your favorites, and then you have your favorites to offer? Does that make sense?
They're all pretty much the same. Like, I recommend stuff that I think is quality. Okay, so I base it off like quality, price point, size to price. You know, obviously, I'm not going to recommend like one of the small SGP Neanderthals that are $9.50 and tiny.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to look at that and be like, "This isn't worth $10." You know. So if you're looking for something light, I have my handful of. Huh?
That might be a bit much for them too. Price aside, I mean, that's a pungent little stick.
Right. But just as an example, you know.
Yeah.
But we get a ton of people that come in and think, just like with wine or something, that the price, if it's the higher the price, then the higher quality it must be, therefore it must be a better smoke, and that's just not the case.
It's not the case. It's not Scotch. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big Scotch guy, but I'm sorry, but there's really, really good Scotch that's really, really expensive for a reason.
I've had a $20 bottle of Scotch that was awesome.
You took the words out of my mouth.
I'd rather have 5 bottles of that than 1 bottle of the expensive stuff.
Exactly. Now, in my line of work, I have stuff that I like, but I also remind myself constantly that I am a bougie snob. And I've been doing it for a long time. So to me, if I had the money, spending $1,500 or $2,000 on a product is not that big a deal, because I'm looking at the craftsmanship. I'm a bougie snob, but there's nothing wrong with the $400 or $500 thing that's tip top. You know, for example, one of the guns that I carry is a Springfield XDM. It's a 5 1/4, and it's in 10 millimeter. I'm not going to recommend that to a novice. I'm not. It's just they're going to be like 10 millimeter. I thought it was 9 millimeter. They're just going to go back and forth. You know, that gun normally retails for around $700. There are XDs that are the base model that I sell for $329. It's 9 millimeter, and it has all the same features as my gun. It doesn't have the bougie craftsmanship. It doesn't have the fancy features, and it doesn't have the unique caliber. But to the normal person just getting into it, that's a phenomenal gun.
Right.
You know? So would I personally carry it? Probably not. I have the fancy version, but that's because I'm, like I said, a bougie snob. I mean, I don't know how better way to put it. And Dan, I own not the newest Delta Elite, but the one before that. I guess it was the 2014 line of the Delta Elite, and I'm annoyed because my Delta Elite is not A1. So I spent like a year fitting new parts and pieces. I Cerakoted the slide in a microsilk black matte so that the roll stamping of the Delta Elite logo would still be good and everything. Respring the whole thing, put in Wilson buffers, did the whole nines to it. But the problem is that I had to take the sights off, and they're bullshit peened on sights. So now I have to find replacement peened on sights, and it's in a drawer under crap right now because, yeah. But God bless the Delta. Sorry to go on a rant there, kids. What am I doing? I'm smoking a cigar. Yeah, exactly, Dan. As soon as they put that beaver tail on, excuse me, I got a Smith & Alexander one because I'm a Springfield fanatic, and Smith & Alexander has a Springfield cut of their beaver tail grip safety that they put on their professional model, the FBI gun, and it's slightly oversized. So I got that fit just right in the Colt, and obviously Colts are a little sloppier, so you got a little more room to play, but it looks good. But where are we talking about cigars? Sorry.
Like recommendations and stuff. Huh?
Yeah. I was saying, are you jamming out right now?
No.
Oh, okay. You were like, yeah. I don't know. That's my thing. Is like a guy walks into a humidor that's full to the nines, every brand possible. What do you hand him? You know?
Well, we have a series of questions you ask to get an idea.
Let's hear more like this intemperance.
Like if someone's buying for someone else, especially, the first question I ask them is how often do they smoke?
Right.
Because if they only smoke once in a while, then they're probably like your standard Romeo.
Sure.
Macanudo, something just not too heavy, not too extreme. If they smoke on a regular basis, they're probably okay with something on the stronger side. And then if they smoke all the time, then they're like, surely most of the time they're going to be able to smoke like LFDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But another way, like if someone doesn't know how often they smoke, then I ask them if somehow, how do they like their coffee? Because if you like your coffee black, you probably like stronger cigars. If you like your coffee with a lot of cream and sugar, you probably like lighter stuff or acids. Or so there is a way to kind of figure out and navigate knowing what someone's likely going to like, even if they're not there.
Right.
But it does get tough because we get guys that come in the humidor. They're like, hey, do you have any suggestions? You give them a suggestion. Oh, I don't like those. Give them another suggestion. Oh, I don't like Dominican tobacco, which takes away like half the room. Oh, I don't like Nicaraguan tobacco. I don't like that size. That's too expensive. That's too cheap. And at that point, I'm like, let me know if you have any more questions. I'm leaving because
I have been into a cigar shop. I walk into it was a walk-in humidor. I walk in the humidor, and I start looking around, and the guy says, and I'd never been here before. I was out of town or whatever. I don't even remember where I was. I think it was Tampa or somewhere. I don't know. And that guy asks me, he says, can I help you? And I said, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but I don't know what I want. And he proceeded to try and ask me questions, and I stopped him and I said, I'm looking. I told him, I said, I don't want X, Y, and Z. And he stopped and was like, no one's ever told me what they didn't want. Like, how much?
That makes it a lot easier.
Exactly.
I mean, I have people do tell me, they're like, I don't want anything super dark. I don't want anything super peppery. I don't want anything super, I don't want anything sweet. Like, that makes it a lot easier. But when someone asks you recommendations and then you give them recommendations and they either shoot down any recommendation you give them because they've had anything and everything. I don't even know why they asked me in the first place because clearly they know everything there is to know.
Right.
And then you have completely lost my train of thought. People who want, well, I want something that tastes like this, or I want something that has, like, everyone's palate is different. I can't taste it for you. I don't, people ask me all the time, am I going to like it? I'm like, I don't know. I can't taste it for you. My palate, my definition of light in a cigar is probably light years different than yours. Same with stronger stuff. Like, I can't take you I tell people all the time, if you're getting into it, you just have to pick up a cigar. Like, I'll point you in the right direction, but you just got to take that cigar. If you like it, find something similar and go from there.
Right.
It's like a trail of breadcrumbs. You find something you like. Okay, well, this is very similar to that, except it's maybe a little bit stronger. Try that. That leads to something stronger. That leads to Romacraft LFDs, Ligas, the foundation stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like wine, I tell people, because it seems to me like a lot of people are just scared of strong cigars.
Yeah.
And usually it's the same story of, well, in high school I had a cigar and I inhaled and I like puked all over the place. Yeah. And I've been really scared to try one since. And I'm like, I can understand that, but people think you inhale them and you don't. I know, like, cigarette smokers, it's hard because their muscle memory tells them to inhale.
It is.
And it's very hard for them to, just because they don't understand, like, just puffing on it. But it's, for me, like, I can't inhale if I wanted to. Like, I've tried. And it's just, I do
once in a while. You're in the rhythm. I smoke cigarettes, so you're in the rhythm of it. Or better yet, I like guys who smoke a lot of hookah, especially college kids. College kids, they learn what a hookah is. They learn what a hookah bar is. Maybe they're infatuated with the culture of the Near East, and they want to sit around on pillows and whatever. And probably music, I love it. Well, they take the hookah hose and they suck on it like a straw, which is fine for hookah. You do that to a cigar and you're going to die. So
you're going to die.
Side note, I wanted to throw up a picture real quick for Dan. going back to our Colt Delta Elite conversation. So, Dan, there's a guy on Instagram. His name is Randy Svitlik. And Randy and I have become pretty chummy on Instagram. He owns an online-based company called TX for Guns. It's basically 1911-grips.com, and he hand cuts grips for whatever you need. He can rework old wood. He does a lot of stuff with micarta. So I had him cherry pick me the most black set of VZ grips, the Recon model, the super aggressive, like deadly golf ball texture. And I had him basically hand cut me Delta grips with Delta Elite medallions, and then he epoxy presses the medallion into the grip. And this is my gun currently, even though it has no sights, but these are the hand cut grips, so we can see.
Ooh.
Yup. I'm pleased. So I kept a long trigger just because I didn't feel like refitting it. But yeah, that's not about gun. Sorry. I wanted to show Dan that. Hopefully he's still watching.
Had to show it off.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's it's almost like I want to say it's the same thing with snakes, man. Is that you get somebody that comes into the pet shop or the reptile store or whatever, and well, I want a snake, and I don't know what kind. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me out. And it's like, well, you could steer them in a ball python, and they could become a ball python person, or you could steer them in a ball python, and they could just enjoy that one pet, and then that transitions into Morelia or garter snakes or whatever. Same thing. You corn snake, western hognose, whatever the entry level snakes are. It segues. I feel like cigars are the same thing, and
I guess it's like that with really any hobby,
It really is,
like,
yeah.
Music, being a musician and stuff. Like you start out with a pretty substandard, entry level guitar, drum set, or bass, and then eventually, as you get better, you improve that gear. Cameras, same way.
Yep.
Start out with a lower end DSLR, and then eventually work your way up to the crazy expensive D40s and stuff like that.
And there's a guy who walks into a shop and says, "I want to take really good pictures. What's your best camera?" And they whip out the Sony mirrorless and call it a day. There's guys that do the same thing with cigars. There's guys that do the same thing with guns. It's like you said, it's any hobby. But I don't know. I feel like you're more on the ball with the whole it's up to you, it's your palate, I can't smoke it for you kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you've done that long enough that you can steer them in the right direction. The question is, are they willing to accept that direction?
Oh, yeah, dude. I've got regulars that come in, they're like, pick me out something. They're like, you've nailed it every time. I trust you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I pride myself on my recommendation ability because it's pretty rare that I have someone come in and say, that last one you gave me, I really wasn't a fan of.
Yeah.
Unlike the owner of the shop, which I have a buddy, he used to come in all the time and he's kind of slowed down. Now he kind of comes in every once in a while and he's like, I was in here the other day and, Raj gave me something and I hated it. And I went in there because I know what the thing is knowing your customers. This can be applied to pretty much anything business-wise.
Anything.
I know what size he's partial to. I know what previous cigars he's really enjoyed. So I know what realm I'm in as far as wrappers and stuff. Sure. And so, we were out of what he usually gets, and so it was Regis Black Label Corona. Same body, same size, same cheaper price point because he doesn't like super expensive stuff either. So I was like, "This is it." Came back in the next day. He's like, "Yeah, that one's good." Nice. You got another one, And so it's like I like sort of that challenge of this will change your life. Try it, and then they come in, they're like, "Holy shit, that was so good! I want more." And
now, I tell you this, you guys don't serve alcohol there, do you?
Beer. We have beer. South Carolina, you have two licenses. You have beer and wine, and then you have liquor.
Right.
So we have a beer and wine license. Yeah.
Okay. So my spot, it's Casa de Monte Cristo franchise, and they have full liquor bar. And the tobaccoist there, I always fuck, is it tobaccoist or tobacconist?
Tobacconist.
Tobacconist. Excuse me. So my tobacco.
Tomato, I think either way, same thing.
So his name is Chris Hayes, and he's fucking amazing. The man is amazing. He's definitely a salesman. He's salesmaned me a few times, and I let him do it because it's all part of the game. It's part of the fun of it, right?
I don't do that. I hate that so much. I'm not gonna try and sell anybody if I don't like. I straight up, if I don't think a cigar is worth the price, or it's just not something they'll enjoy, I'll flat out tell them you're probably not gonna like this. Like I tried it, I thought like that Todos Los Dias.
Yeah.
That Saka smoke. That was like straight up one of the worst cigars I've had probably ever. Which really bummed me out because Steve Saka's like the original guy who made Liga Privada No. 9s and T52s and all that. And
right.
You know, I've told customers, they're like, "Is it good?" I'm like, "I smoked it, wasn't impressed, really wasn't happy with it, but I need to smoke it again. So maybe if you try it, you might like it. It didn't do it for me." I'm not big unless it's Roma Craft stuff, which I'm going to point people in that direction all the time because the price point's really good. The cigars are phenomenal. Like
it's Roma.
It's Roma.
So me saying he's salesman D, I want to retract that. He did not push anything on me. He does like the, hey man, you know, these are really good. You've had these before. I remember you have. These are on sale. You should just get 2 or 3 of those. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. I should just get 2 or 3 of those. Like, that's what I meant by the salesman-y. Is like, I was planning on buying 1 or 2 sticks, not 12, you know? So
yeah, Raj is he's the salesman-y type that we're talking about, where like we have too much of something, so he's going to push that.
It's about to turn.
You know?
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Yeah. But I have a handful of regulars too. They're like, "Have I smoked this before?" And I'll literally, like, I see them so much, I will remember if they bought that or not. I'm like, "You've had that." They won't even remember that they've had it, but I'm like, "You had it."
Now, do you have an account system that has like the customer's info in it or no?
No.
Okay, I was going to say because they have it at my club, but I'm not a club member. So I mean, they hook me up because I am a regular, but I'm not a club member. So like, if I was a club member, they would put my name in or my club number, and it would show everything I've ever bought, and that kind of gives the tobacconist a idea of where to steer you. You know what I mean? Or hey, we have fucking acids on sale or whatever. Here, you like that shit. But what I was going to say about the booze is, my guy Chris is exceptional on the palate blending, and on more than one occasion, I've chosen a cigar, whether it was with his, advice or tip or whatever, or I chose it on my own. And I said to him flat out, "Hey man, I'm in a bourbon mood tonight. What would you recommend pairing this with?" And he says, "Well, I like this, but some people don't. But this other one is always good with that." And I go, "All right, you know what? I'll try his first recommendation. If I don't like it, I don't fucking like it." So I spent $12, $15, $20, whatever it was. Some people, that's a problem for them. I'm going in there expecting to piss it because I'm going in there expecting to piss it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try it. If I like it, fantastic. I just got a great pairing from a reputable dude. You know what I mean? And that guy has been spot on every single time he's ever recommended something. I
have people ask me that a lot too. What should I, what kind of bourbon should I pair this with? And that's another thing that's completely subjective is, pairings. Like, someone will love pairing cigars and gin and think it's the best thing ever. 99% of the population is going to say it sucks.
Yeah, because those people are fucking retarded. I'm a gin drinker. I'm a gin drinker. I love gin. My dad yells at me and says, "How do you drink those pine needles?" But I still know you don't mix cigars and gin. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done it because I'm a degenerate from Jersey, but you just don't do it traditionally.
It's a hard spirit to work with.
It is. It's extremely overpowering. Now, I know you're not a gin guy, but there's actually a Scottish gin called Caorun. It's spelled Caorun. Caorun. And it's in a round, circular, almost like a Padron bottle. A Patron bottle. Man, Brendan and Copney. What's up, dudes?
Look at this.
Oh, by the way, Henry. So it comes in this weird tortoiseshell looking bottle, but it's no juniper gin. And I've paired that with a couple sticks before, and it was pleasant. But I would prefer to just drink it on its own. But I did think it was interesting because it made a very interesting cocktail too. Like, for example, if you're a Tom Collins kind of guy and you are a straight up Tanqueray or who's the other London Dry that I always forget? It's old as dirt. Gordon's. If you're a Gordon's guy or a Beefeaters guy and you're like, I have to have a Tom Collins with a Gordon's.
Trust the Gordon's fisherman.
Not that kind of Gordon. But anyway, if you're like, all right, I have to have a Tom Collins with Beefeater. I just have to, for whatever reason, try that Calhoun with no juniper. Completely freaking different. Awesome on its own because I like Tom Collins, but just give it a whirl.
Who's Tom Collins?
You really want to go into this?
Yeah, I tell people like the loose rule, if there was such a thing, that I like to generally follow is you don't want the cigar or the alcohol to be darker than the other. So I'm not going to go get a really dark bourbon or rum and smoke a Connecticut with it.
Yeah. Now
it's going to overpower that.
It's strictly the booze, not the stick.
What do you mean?
So, all right. So, like, for example, I'm not going to smoke I don't even know. I'm not going to smoke a Connecticut with Bacardi Black. But if I was smoking an Onyx, could I drink that with like a super blend light ass Scotch? Is it the opposite way?
It could work. For some people it might, for some people it won't. But I typically, if I'm going to be pairing something, you
want them to be
I don't want them to be polar opposites. I don't want like the Kraken and a Connecticut.
I got you.
I want the Kraken and like a Cro-Mag because that's a very dark liquor,
like an Onyx or something.
There really isn't a rule when it comes to pairing. I tell people that all the time too. Like the rules are there ain't no rules.
True.
And if it works, it works.
To each their own.
Our favorite thing to pair is black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It just works so well, and it's a palate cleanser, so you're getting more flavor of the cigars, like all kinds of stuff. I've talked about Zaya before. That's an aged rum that I've yet to find a cigar that doesn't pair well with it. That Flor de Caña that I have in there is pretty good with most of the smokes I've had with it.
Nice.
I don't know. It just depends. Like I said, if you're doing like an LFD Chapter 1,
right?
It's a really dark Brazilian wrapper. It's like pitch black. I'm not gonna have that probably with a really light Scotch.
I can see that. I got you. I was gonna say,
you want them to work together.
For example, one of my personal favorites, and this was one of those Chris Hayes recommendations, was I'm actually going to Cigar Scanner to see if I wrote anything down about pairings. I rarely do. It was a 26 Torpedo Padron with the Woodford Reserved double oaked. And by God, that Woodford was expensive, but not to sound like a bougie fuck. It was
Woodford is good though. I've yet to have any line of Woodford that was
double oaked. The double oaked with the Padron was perfect. It was perfect, man. It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
But again, that's a darker-ish bourbon with a dark cigar. Like those, you want them to work together and not against each other. It's kind of the whole thing. Yeah. But like I said, if you want to smoke Connecticut and drink the Kraken with it, it might be good. You just don't want one to overpower the other. But you also never know if you don't try it. So
it's true. It's very, very true. Very true. I've been trying to drink more rum, especially when I'm smoking cigars, because I'm not a big rum guy. I mean, I enjoy it, but I I always drink bourbon or scotch, rarely rye, and rarely Tennessee anything. But I try to do more rum, and I find that like the girlier stuff, I obviously find more palatable, but it does not blend well at all with smokes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll drink friggin' Malibu out of the bottle. I don't give a shit if how girly it looks, but you cannot have a cigar with coconut rum. Like you just can't. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
So,
you definitely need to try this Zaya. Then you need to get your hands on some.
I think it's a little wonky. It's starting to drift a little, but I was gonna look up on the scanner my pairings. All right, favorites. You know what it was? It wasn't a. What did you send me?
That's that Zaya. So next time you're in the liquor store, look around, keep an eye out for it.
It said wood and fork, and I read it as Woodstork because we're animal people and we're crazy. It was not a Padron 26. It was the Family Reserve number 50 Maduro. That's what it was. And that literally tickled my insides.
Tickled your fancy?
Tickled my fancy. The Padron Family Reserve number 50 Maduro with the Woodford Reserve double oaked. Reserve with a reserve. The double oak just did it, man. It just does it. It's phenomenal. You all need to get up on that. Hold on. Let's see what else I had written down. I'm just really bad because I get all girly and I'm like, hey, I'm having fun. I'm smoking and drinking. Yay. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to take notes on this.
I'm supposed. I mean, I find that to be the case a lot too. Like, if you're just smoking a cigar and not paying attention to it, not retrohaling, it's not going to taste like much of anything. But if you retrohale it or you actually stop and like focus on the flavors as you're finishing it,
yeah,
it makes a lot more sense.
I want to try some stuff with the King is Dead, man. I'm really falling in love with that smoke. The Caldwell is really growing on me, man. It really is. I'm on my like third or fourth The King is Dead, and they just get better and better.
That is my favorite of what they do. And, we have the limited edition AJ Fernandez versions of those.
Oh, really?
And I had one the other day because I was like, they've been in here a while. Maybe they've mellowed out some. Maybe they're better. They're not. I'm really, as I smoke more of AJ Fernandez's stuff, I'm really, the less I like it. It's just, everything he does is just super like full throttle and in your face, and it all tastes pretty much the same to me. A lot of his cigars taste very similar to one another, with the exception of a few, but I'm not into it.
So I just stumbled across, not to change gears on you, but I just stumbled across a review that I put for the ALR second edition Toro, and I only gave it 2.5 stars, but I wrote a phenomenal little paragraph about it. And now I have to go buy another one because I can't remember why I fucking did that. And
I would have given it the same. That's another one.
An excellent presentation, a gorgeous half wrap with a beautiful foil, corresponding band, box pressed in the front with a perfect cap in the rear, cuts flawlessly with perfect cap depth. But I gave it 2.5 stars. I don't know. I was probably drunk.
That's my issue with Rocky and Gurkha. Is their portfolios are so huge. They put very little into anything in that portfolio. So they're a mile wide and an inch deep.
Yep.
None of their stuff really stands out to me. Like, there's few Rockies that I have to smoke and be like, man, I have to have that again. Most of them are pretty unimpressive. Same with Gurkha. I don't understand why Gurkha is so popular. To me, the G in Gurkha stands for garbage. and I really don't. Like, I have guys who come in wanting, be like, "Oh, what Gurkhas do you have?" And I'm like, "They're over here." You know, if someone likes them, whatever.
I have like 6 or 7 glass tube Churchill Gurkhas. I think they're some kind of Connecticut, and they're the ones with the wax seal, and they were a gift. And I smoked one, and I was like, "All right, this isn't that bad," but I have yet to be like, "I need to go smoke that," because it's not going to happen.
So one of the infused ones.
I don't remember, man.
It probably is. If it's got the wax seal on, it's probably infused. They have the Abuelo, which is like a rum one, and that one actually was really solid. Like, I don't do infused stuff very often, but those were actually pretty damn good. But other than like the Ghost and the Ghost Gold, and anything Gurkha said, like if they try and sell something expensive to me, Gurkha, it's just the G stands for either garbage or gimmick, because most of their stuff is just one or the other.
Okay. The another one that I forgot about that I'm literally just remembering now as I go through my bullshit. Monte Cristo Epic #2. Have you had the Epic?
It's been a while since I've had one of those.
That was really good. I think I paid a lot of money though. I think I paid like $19.50 or like $19.95 for it, but that was a phenomenal fucking smoke. That really was. I added on September 22nd. Well, it must not have been that long ago. It is funny, man, going reminiscing through this shit. Yeah, there's nothing. I have nothing written about booze. This is so disappointing. Oh. All right. I'm done. I'm done. What are you getting?
It's box cutter.
It just occurred to me that Dan left, not Sean. Sorry that I waved goodbye to you, Sean. My sincerest apologies. And Thomas, what's going on?
You rookie. Thomas
is
another cigar guy. Thomas is another South Carolina dude.
Nice. What are you smoking tonight, Thomas?
He's a Roma guy. He knows what's up.
Did I give you one of the Olla de Monterrey Cuban?
No. I think they were all Hoyas, or not Hoyas. They were all Cohibas.
Cohibas, okay. I got 2 from a friend, and I haven't smoked them yet. I got to do that. And then he also gave me a handful of Hoyas that are super thin, like thinner than Portofino. And I tried one, and I think it was just a bad one. You know, that whole Cuban ARF thing. And but I gotta smoke a couple more of those. I keep forgetting that they're there. I wound up drinking some Knob Creek, Tommy boy, my man. Speaking of Knob Creek, where's Cox?
Who knows?
I should text him. Be like, why aren't you watching us right now? He's like, I had enough being on the show. I had enough of it. Now I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Oh, humidors. So I got sick and friggin' tired of seasoning the same humidor once every 3 months. So I had an old Pelican case that was just not being used. And now it holds almost 200 cigars in it.
They're perfect.
Perfect.
I get that a lot at work too. You know, my humidor says it's at like 45% humidity. I've seasoned it 3 times. I can't get it to work. And I'm like, are you reading the dial on the front of the humidor? Yeah. I'm like, ignore that. Like, they're analog. They're not calibrated. They're there purely for aesthetics. Like, they're not meant to be actually used, no matter what the people that made it say.
Exactly.
And people think that a humidor has to be wood. It has to be something fancy, and it's like people who are looking for cheap humidor, like if they're traveling and they buy some cigars with us, they're like, I don't have a humidor. I'm like, go to Walmart, get a big Tupperware, put a Boveda pack in there. As long as it has a good seal, that's really all that matters.
That's it, man. That's
Trade secret. People make them out of coolers.
Yep.
I have it's not a Pelican case, but it's something similar. It's a travel case. It's just a big one, and it's plastic.
Yeah,
and
it's Zycar, right? It's Zycar.
Yeah. It's that one I had at Carter Fest.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.
As long as it has a good seal and it keeps humidity in.
Right. And I've done so far as, I mean, obviously you can do synthetic sponges cleaned in distilled water and then rehydrated with distilled water. But I've also seen guys bloat the shit out of their box and all the cigars explode because they're overly saturated, 99% humidity, whatever. I mean, I've actually done it where I've got a mason jar and I put the sticks in loose, and then I get a couple cotton balls, soak the cotton balls in distilled water, put them in a Ziploc bag, don't zip the bag, and then throw that in the mason jar, and you're golden. You know what I mean? Made my own Boveda pack. But I use Boveda packs exclusively now in the Pelicans because the humidity.
You don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think about it. I check them. If let's say I don't smoke a cigar all week, I'm still going to go in there at least once or twice a week to touch that pack. I'm just going to. If it starts to get crunchy.
And the big one, I mean, if it's the bigger Boveda packs, those things last months.
Yeah. Well, I've been buying the 72s, and they've been working phenomenal. I was gonna get my shop had an 84, I think it is. It's the big one. It's like that big. It's like 8x7 or whatever. It's huge. It's like $100, and I think that was mislabeled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like $98. And I was like, I think you got to check a computer, pal.
I think, personally, dry cigars are much less frustrating to smoke than cigars that are too humid, that are wet.
And you don't have to deal with plume.
And people are, oh, my thing only says it's a 50%. I'm like, are the cigars cracking? No, they're fine.
Exactly.
Like people put it's just like green trees, man. Like people put way too much thought into, well, my hygrometer says, that it's only at this, and I got a digital hygrometer and it says that it's at 65 and it's supposed to be at 70. I'm like, 5% don't matter. Well, not that serious. If you're out in like Arizona or where it's dry, I can understand. But like here in the Southeast, I don't worry about cigars getting dry. Doesn't happen.
What I think it's funny is because I grew up in up north where it's cold and we got snow, and I didn't obviously smoke as a child, but I had reptiles, and people think that just because it's cold that there's no humidity, and I'm like, no, that's not how this works. There's still humidity. It's just frozen, or it's still vapor and you're not feeling it because you're cold. So like I've seen people where they bog down their animal when the room was already in the 70% humidity. You know what I mean? It just was. I'm actually using in the humidors, I'm using Exoterra hygrometers, digital hygrometers, because those Exoterra hygrometers, they're $24, I think, on Amazon. I have like 15 or 20 of them because I used to put them, until I got my rack stuff down, I used to put them in each gecko rack. So I had literally hygrometer, digital hygrometers suctioned on the outside of every single tub. And now I've got things down pat, but I put them in the humidor because they just work. They last forever. They use 2 little watch batteries.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
How's that, brothers?
Cigars.
I was going to say something about, I figured it out too, is if it's not red Spanish cedar, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. And I went crazy trying to find red Spanish cedar in South Florida, and I just can't find it. I'm just going to have to buy it on Amazon because I wanted to do at least the sides and the bottom of the Pelican in red Spanish cedar, because I think that would just give it a little extra oomph,
Yeah, we have those Sycar branded digital hygrometers, and that's another one that I tell people. I'm like, I could sell you this for $30, but you could go on Amazon and buy one for $7 that does the same thing.
I have the
I have a very hard time selling people something that I don't think they need.
I understand.
Like,
Or-
I'd be pretty pissed if I bought a Sycar and hygrometer that was $30, and then I go on Amazon and find the same thing for a third the price, a fourth the price.
Yeah. Like, for example, my travel stick boxes, they're all Pelicans. They're all old Pelicans that I bought for God knows what, and I converted them. I actually made the guy who gave me the Oil de Monterey's, he travels all over the Caribbean for work. And he's like, hey, man, show me how to make one of those little Pelicans you got. So I just made him one. I had a little, 8x4 little green Pelican case that I had very, very thin foam. I guess it was for like watches or jewelry or something.
Yeah.
Or like SD cards or something. And it was just big enough to hold like maybe 6 like Toro or 6 Corona size sticks. So I cut the top out. I went and bought the Boveda metal tray with the magnet.
Yeah.
And I epoxied the metal plate onto the inside of the Pelican lid, cut the foam perfect with a razor blade, stick it in there. It looks presentable. He's happier than the clam, and it was good. It's the least I can do for my buddy that brings me good sticks. So my question is, though, on that topic, now I forgot it. Crap.
God damn you, Bernice!
God damn. Low grade beaver tranquilizer. Oh God, people watching this must think we're fucking nuts. So on to snakes. Now that we've talked about stogies for like 50 minutes, which I think is awesome because we never actually talk about cigars. Henry and I, as well as the fine folks at Underground Reptiles, were blessed with 31
Jesus.
Naja siamensis eggs. The black and white tie spitting cobra. Now, we've been working with those animals for a very long time, and we never really thought to pair them up. It wasn't really a thought. But this past year, Hen Dog was like, yo, I really want to breed these things. Let's do it. And we threw them together at the wrong time of the year because we're idiots and we didn't know what we were doing. And and then we did it at the right time of the year. And we went up putting the Wise camera in there. And we actually got film of copulation, and it was phenomenal. And Henry has an Instagram friend whose siamensis dropped eggs what would have been 2 nights ago. So this morning he's like, you know what? Let me call over to the farm and have somebody just, peek their head in the window. And sure as heck, she dropped 31 eggs.
It loves. They went on forever, dude. I saw the picture. I was like, "What was like someone have a bearded dragon like drop a clutch or something?"
Well, and that's the thing. So I felt horrible. I really felt bad because I haven't been over there in almost 3 weeks now. Henry's been doing all the work himself. God bless him. And I felt bad because we had a nest box in there for months, and I kept rehydrating it. And she was sleeping in there and using it. She was peeing in there. It was perfect. We got the thermal gradient perfect in the tank for this time of the year. The male was super cooperative. He was all on her, and she was receptive. Everything was tip top. And then we took the nest box out because we're like, oh, we'll just put it back in when it gets close to term. And then I felt so bad. He sent me the pictures of just the eggs on the floor, and I felt so bad, man. Thank God that he found them when he did, because they would have just gone bad.
Yeah.
So
they were all strewn about.
Actually, I have the picture still. We'll show it. I'll show it. Let's see if I have it. Handy dandy. That's not the picture I want. Here it is. All right. Okay. All right. We got to go screen share. Okay. Sharing. So
see, that's why like they look really small, and so I was like, is that one of his lizards or something?
no, and I'm afraid that they are small, but that's fine. They'll be good. I don't know.
I mean, they're not that big of a species to begin with.
Right. Can you see my mouse right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So they wound up we put them in vermiculite, and you can see that they a couple of them are dimpled pretty badly, but they look really good. So I'm kind of convinced that they will plump up. I'm hoping that they plump up a little bit. And I guess in about a week or so, I'm gonna, once I see which ones are plump and which ones are kind of meh, then I'll candle them.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that fool exited out of the whole thing. What a jackass. He'll be back.
Yeah, that just happened. What was the last thing you heard me say?
That some of them were dimpled, and when they will do a triage in the next like week and see who's the survivor and who's getting cut from the team.
Yeah, basically that. I figure we'll give it a week, let the vermiculite do its job, and hopefully those eggs will plump up a little more, and then we'll candle them next week, and hopefully we get. If I get a third of them, I'll be happy. Shit, if one hatches,
I mean, with a clutch that big, your odds are pretty solid. You're going to end up with a few, unless something happens with the incubator.
That's true. Well, I told Henry flat out, I was like, listen, make sure we get our own incubator for those eggs, because the incubator room that they have, dude, there's so many eggs in there, so many incubators. And listen, get a small incubator. I want you to tape it shut, tape on the front, danger, venomous reptile, because that whole top of that thing is screen. And yeah. Froggy frogs?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get my hands on some of these in the coming weeks. Got a buddy on Instagram that's free. I mean, these are actually there's not a lot of people who sell them. It's same genus as the Tatus, the Phyllobates. But I love the freaking legs on these things, dude. They look like little galaxies, kind of.
They are, dude. Little solar system stars.
Wild, man. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then he also has a ton of Vitatus, so he wants to kind of change up his bloodline a little bit. I want to change up my bloodline because they're all related. So I think we're going to swap some females and some froglets.
Whoa, what was that burgundy one that you passed over?
Where?
Right there.
This one?
Nope, down. That one. Yep, that one. What is that?
That's that same. It's same species. It's a young one. Yeah, it hasn't colored up yet.
I like that a lot. That like maroon color.
Yeah. Like I said, there's not a lot.
How the Pamilio?
They seem to be doing fine. I really don't see them a whole lot. I know kind of like the general areas that they're hanging out in the tank. Like they each have their own little section that they stick to.
Cool. You're not gonna put a wise kid on?
I had it facing that tank, and then I put the green trees back together, so now it's back facing those two. So.
Okay. Yeah, man, look at that turquoise in that leg. Stellar, bro.
Yeah, this is the Vitatus I want, dude. I wish mine had this much teal.
That's cool.
Mine look like this.
You want the Vitatus?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. These are pretty much what mine look like. I mean, they're still pretty frogs, but
yeah,
those ones with the crazy amount of teal, man, they're intense.
Super duper. Oh, Henry, did she poop out any more eggs after you pulled that clutch? Funny, we're talking about frogs. My good friend Marcus, he's been infatuated with Bufos lately, and he wound up picking up these. And now, hold on, I can't remember what species they are. I gotta text him and find out what species they are so I don't sound like a moron. What species are those? Whoa, that did not come out appropriately. What species are those bufos? Bufos, not bigots. Bufos, autocorrect. Check out these friggin' frogs, man. Let me pull this up right quick with the rat quickness. Look at this frog here.
On top of the hide, don't ask.
The ones you just got. So, I don't know if this is going to work. Man, this is not working out. Check out this little booger. See if I fuck this up again. Here, share that. How awesome is that, dude?
That looks really familiar.
That looks really familiar. I'm not a toad guy, and that thing is awesome.
Species looks familiar. Is it American or is it like Israeli?
Okay, I texted him because I guess he got 3 different species today. All right, so that's a African green spotted. That's what that is. I'm on YouTube Live with Justin from Palmetto Coast Exotics, period. We are talking about you.
Who the F is that?
Period. Go chime in. What's that?
He's probably like, who's that clown?
No, I talk about you a lot. You should know that.
I'm honored.
You should be.
God, it's crazy how gross your phone gets under these cases, dude.
Oh, don't even say that, dude. Jimmy Hoffa is living underneath my phone case. Please. There's like a family of Keebler elves, and they're all in unemployment.
I mean, this thing is.
She laid an egg on top of the hide box? The cave? She laid an egg on top of the rock cave? How's it possible? Oh. Almost time for a refill. Almost time for you to get an actual beverage, sir. I was kind of hoping that Dom was going to chime in tonight. She hit me up the other night after our thing talking about snakes regurging, and she was telling me how she's never had a snake regurge. And I was like, man, that's kudos to your care and husbandry. You know? I mean, we chalk it up a lot of times to just shit happens, the same way that we get sick. You know what I mean? Shit happens. But kudos to her and her animals, her chondros never having yacked.
So I put mine together feeling in my gut that this was going to be it. And I put them together and they haven't gone near each other. So I was wrong. It'll be so nice when I have more than one pair that's like of age and ready to go.
Right.
Where if one pair doesn't do it, I'll be like, whatever.
What, you got
you guys?
Like another year and a half? To get
yeah.
Okay.
But even then, we'll just be more Biox, so whatever.
How do I send the link of us right now?
If you go to,
I'm on your page.
On my Facebook page, the link I posted the link to YouTube on there.
But I can't do it from YouTube.
You could if you look up my channel.
I was just on your channel. I'm on your channel right now.
It should be on there.
Subscriptions. I'm gonna post exotics.
Brennan, my season thus far is pretty underwhelming. I am thoroughly convinced that nothing will happen this year, but I'm okay with that if it doesn't.
I'm watching myself. This is super awkward.
Because I still have the dart frogs doing their thing. That's the only thing that's breeding. So,
well, I don't know, man. I have a lot of faith in you. I have a lot of faith in your husbandry tactics, your breeding tactics. I'm eager to purchase bear drats from you, as I'm sure everyone else is, and I'm eager to see what comes of the near future.
Yeah, nothing out of that pair either. I'm actually wondering if I should try another, like a smaller male, one of the younger males, see if there's any interest there.
Maybe.
Or at the very least, get a shed and put a shed in there, and maybe that'll get the male going.
Okay. So you have no copulation at all out of the Bairds?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. Do you think it was because?
But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's still early for pretty much everything.
Right.
You know, like it's only March. Well, about to be April. You know, so it's probably just too early, I think, for everything. But
maybe
whatever.
Marcus, I just got your picture. Thank you. I wish you would chime in here so that we could talk about the toads, but you're watching it on TV, so I don't know how that works.
Brennan, I believe the Bears will, yes.
Ooh, that would be awesome to watch. That would be super cool to watch, especially if you had it like in a big enclosure.
I mean, it wouldn't be that awesome because they're one of the two males would be considerably smaller than the other one, like half the size. So it wouldn't be much of a fight, you know.
You never know, man. David and Goliath, the underdog.
Yeah, I mean, moved like 6 months ago, at least, longer than that. 6 months.
So wait, you may have already said this, and I'm just stupid. How long were they in the garage for?
Who?
The Bears.
They weren't.
Oh, I thought you would put them in the garage to give them a nap.
No, I had thought about it, but I didn't.
Ah, okay. There we go, Marcus. So, Marcus, tell us about that beautiful African green spotted toad that you missed when I put it up on the screen. Actually, we can still do it. I think I still got the thing handy. There it is. Let's do this. Share screen. Make Justin touch it again. There it is. Tell us all about it. There it is.
Look at that triumphant bastard.
Look at that triumphant bastard. It's
surveying over his kingdom.
Literally. It's the Toad King. Look at that. I mean, I love the camouflage, like green flecking and patterning, but dude, those eyes, man. Those
contrast.
Stellar eyes. Here, let me see if I can.
The eyes of evil.
The eyes of evil. Let me see if I can get another. That's not what I want. Hold on. Oh, look at that! Look at that guy. Whoa, wait! Oh, look at that guy! Look at that little. Bleep, 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 bleep. Look at that! That's a handsome son of a bitch. And then, which ones are these? That looks super cool too.
Boy, look at those! Those balls on the side of its head.
Yeah.
Looks like a burn victim.
What are you sending me, Marcus? Yeah, you sent me that already. I just showed it on screen. There's got to be a delay.
I gotta get some water real quick.
That's fine. Marcus is going to type out everything he knows about this frog and go. So this is a Sonoran. So this is a Sonoran what? Sonoran. Help me out, man. I know as much about amphibians as I do flying a goddamn airplane. Oh, river toad. Okay, cool.
If you want to get down on this heavy call, then why don't you jump right in?
There's a party going up in here. Oh, beautiful. So these
The toad of Joe Rogan.
these large sacks up in here. Oh, look, today at 10:41 a.m. Large sacks of DMT deliciousness. I hope no one from the DEA is watching.
No.
Are you eating a wafer cookie?
A Nutri-Grain bar.
Scandalous.
Mmm.
This is how we party, by the way. I'm drinking iced tea. He's eating Nutri-Grain bars. We're officially fucking old.
Nice cup of water.
We're officially fucking old. What's funny is, man, we have Bufo marinus, the cane toad, all over South Florida, man, everywhere. They are a plague. They're not as bad an impactor on the ecosystem as, say, Australia or PNG, but they're friggin' everywhere. And they don't get nearly as big as the ones in Suriname or the ones in PNG. And I'm kind of annoyed with that. If I'm going to have them, they might as well be gigantic and eating everything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we don't see more of them here. Like, I think they're reported every now and then, but I don't know.
Yeah. And
I feel like they'd survive up here just as well as they would down there.
Yeah. We don't have many native toads in this part of Florida. I think we've got Florida toad and then gopher toad and spadefoot. But, dude, every single time we find a spadefoot, even a normal, goofy, dumpy-looking spadefoot, it's awesome, man. I love seeing those little stupid bastards.
They're cool.
They blend in so well, man. They're adorable. We got
they're everywhere up here.
Oh, really? You guys have it's not black and white, but for lack of a better color synonym, they're black and white. We have them up probably about 30 minutes north of me. And, dude, I would totally keep that as a pet if I was, into amphibians. They're awesome.
The one that really catches my attention are those bumblebee toads. Those are really neat. I've looked into those before, but
that's cool.
I don't know.
Marcus got me Googling the Japanese giants. And, dude, let me see if I have some pictures that he sent me. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I have some of the ones that he sent me. Hold on. Oh my God, there's so many pictures of snakes and crap. Thank God you guys can't see this right now. Like this. Look at this. Marcus, you're going to have to explain what the hell this is because it's friggin' awesome.
What? It looks like a samurai.
It's legit samurai. That dude is going to whip out a katana and cut your head off. Super cool. And then check out this troublesome sons of bitches. Look at this guy. Look at these guys. Those guys are awesome.
Dude, those are pretty gnarly.
They're they're almost like tomato frogs with paint on them. Painted tomato frogs.
Yeah. That's a good description.
Cool. Super cool. I don't know, man. I think it's interesting because I don't know. I really don't know anything about them. I'm not an amphibian guy, but the fact that he's getting into them, I'm kind of looking at them too, and I'm not going to keep them. I'll let them be his thing, but they're very interesting. I find it very, very interesting.
Very good.
Very good.
So I saw that Underground was sold out of Vitatas. So those ones that got sent down there gone already?
Yep, all of them.
Damn.
Captive bred, baby. Captive bred by someone who produces a phenomenal animal. As if you made them yourself.
If they want more, let me know.
I will. If I ever get to go there ever again.
You let me know.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go by there tomorrow, so I'll ask them if they want more.
I mean, if they sell out that damn quick.
I mean, how many do you have that you'd actually be willing to part with right now?
I'd have to go and count.
I was gonna say.
I honestly don't even know how many frogwits are in the tub right now. They're so good at hiding and stuff. I could count 10 of them, and there actually be like 20 that I just, the other 10 I just didn't see.
I got you. I was gonna say, do you think you'd have enough to like trade for like Galactics or something?
I just don't have anywhere to put those. I don't have space for a bigger tank.
I wish you lived by me, man. I literally have exoterrors sitting here collecting dust.
I have like a big 40-gallon. It's not like the tanks aren't the issue. I have a brand new 40-gallon staring me in the face right now, like still in the packaging and everything. I literally have nowhere to put it.
Okay. All right.
So it's literally either getting more of the species that I have now, or figuring out, that's why I want to get more racks so I can condense and be able to move more Vivs into that room. And
right. I'm getting another beverage. Excuse me. Entertain the people, please. Oh, by the way, Marcus, this is for you. I don't know if you can see it, but those of you who speak Portuguese, you know what's up. Os terribles.
We're in America, damn it. Speak American. Mm-hmm. I would like some of those Galactinotus, but as I said before, space is a bit of an issue. But might have to make that happen.
What'd I miss?
I was talking about the Galactinotus.
Oh, yeah.
And how I'd like to have some, but
Aw, sweet words, Brennan. Sweet words.
hell yeah, dude.
Speak American. Thanks so much, Marcus.
Traded a bunch of Atas for one of those Stogies that I also don't have room for.
Who?
Underground.
Oh, yeah, dude. Speaking of Spilotes, how's the first week of the magazine?
Not bad, considering I had to re-upload the whole thing.
You caught it quick, so that's fine.
Oh, dude, I was so mad at myself. Like, Riley, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was sitting with Katie on the couch watching TV, and Riley was, like, sending me screenshots with all these errors, like, circled, and at first I was like, there had to be an issue with that file or something when I exported it. And so I just deleted the publication out of issue, and I was like, I'll do it in the morning. I'm not worrying about it right now. Woke up the next morning, and no, it wasn't an upload issue. I'm just such a jackass that I was in a rush to get that issue out. And
So you just like duplicated paragraphs on accident, or what?
it was duplicated paragraphs. So like when I was laying it out to make everything the same width and everything, you copy a column and paste it, and then change the text in it. And I guess I didn't do that on a handful of things. So
It happens, man.
yeah.
Think about it this way: if it was a mate not to downgrade our publication, but if it was like a real major magazine, like fucking Time magazine or something, or Playboy or whatever, there's like 30 Justins. You know what I'm saying? And like so like all the work you do, it's not that big a deal that it was a day late. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I like to hold myself to
And that's
standard.
commendable. That is very commendable. I respect that. I also
Dude.
I think of it too is imagine if it went to print with the errors. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Well, that was another issue in itself. Like I uploaded that issue to Picho, and I have yet to this is my first time exporting anything from InDesign to be printed. And so when I uploaded it to Picho, the colors were all like super saturated. Everything was all jacked up. And so I was like, what the hell? So I deleted it and then I re-uploaded it. Same issue. I emailed Picho. Was like, this is what's happening. What am I doing wrong with the export? La da 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 da. And they emailed me back. This was like yesterday. I was off. I wasn't worried about it because I wasn't working. And uploaded it today and it was fine.
Okay.
Like what? It's like what the hell? But I mean, none of that matters because you guys have a two-toed sloth for sale, and I want it.
No, you don't.
Do you get to play with the sloth?
No, I get within 6 inches and I go, what the fuck am I doing? And I get out of there.
Dude,
They're not cool, man.
sloths.
Not
They
cool.
are cool.
No, they're really
Why
cool
not?
when they're captive bred by a friendly mom and the mom lets you raise the baby friendly to a human. Then it's awesome. But when it's a farmed animal, no, thank you. They literally,
Okay, well,
they're like this. They're like, and then right about there, it's wham, and they just grab you and rip you open. Fuck that.
well, the website says these are very slow-moving and docile by nature, so I think you're wrong.
Okay. I just don't do mammals, man.
You ever
My
seen a
weird-
baby sloth? Is there anything cuter than a damn baby sloth? I don't think there is.
They're fucking adorable, but not for me. Not for me.
Especially when their hair's all messy, like they just woke up.
Mhm.
They're like, what am I doing? Where am I? Are you my mother?
At the fucking DMV. Hen dog got to play with one. Have fun, hen dog.
Sounds like you're just scared of them.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I don't do mammals. I don't. I tolerate humans. I love dogs for the most part. I like cats, domestic house cats. I'm going to rephrase that. I think large cats are cool, but no, you keep it. Have fun. No mammals.
I'm looking at these Galactinotus, man.
What I would do is I would do some stupid shit in order for me to be able to pet an okapi. I want to walk up and give a fucking okapi a hug and pet its mane and touch the spots on the butt and everything. And no one will let me do it. Yes, I'm not into the whole large predatory animal thing. Not my thing. No, sir.
You can get attacked by a sloth and just say it was goddamn Carol Baskin.
Oh. How did we get on this topic?
I don't know.
This is a departure from hell.
But it doesn't matter. Look at this.
We're talking about stogies, good. A little bit of snakes, fraud. Oh, look at that blue. Look at that blue, bro. I need that
Easy.
blue in my
Put your
life.
dick back in your pants.
Oh, shit, it's out. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's out again. It's out again. Look at that animal.
Dude, forget that. Look at this one. It looks like freaking Darth Maul.
That's cool, man. But, dude, red is awesome. But, dude, blue is where it's at. Nothing is blue in nature.
How
Blue is
about one that's both?
OMG.
Looks like it has some sort of rash.
It's like Agent Orange, Vitiligo. That's awesome.
All right, so I may have to snag some. That's an orange.
It's orange splashback. Dude, that's damn near mint. Look at that. Oof. Oof.
There's one that's like freaking white.
Can you make that bigger?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's awesome. That's freaking white, dude. That's Stormtrooper. That's Stormtrooper Dart Frog. So cool. I was listening to the podcast and I was thinking about like what you were saying about how you like tiny stuff. And I realized that like most of my stuff is tiny.
I don't know what it is, dude. I've always liked the miniature like dwarf stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I'm so big.
Marcus just sent me the picture of the white spot of Vitatis? This one. Hold on.
Hold on. I think I know which one it is.
All right, we can compare and contrast.
These.
Yup.
Yeah,
what
Mysteriosis.
Mysteriosis. Yeah, look at this.
Excidobates Mysteriosis. No one has these in the United States because they are illegal.
But why are they illegal though?
Because they're Brazilian.
So now here's the thing: if we could get them,
they have them in Europe. Like they're everywhere in Europe.
What if we could get them from Brazil as legitimate imports?
I'm sure someone could. They just have
if
to
we could, would that be awesome, or would it be like, would we still get fucked up with Fish and Wildlife?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I mean, look at the picture. Look at the picture he just sent me. See that? Look at that thing.
Yeah. Yep.
I would keep that. I would.
Nipper rubs that in my face all the time that they have those.
That would literally make me get into darts. Brazilian, you say?
Correct.
What's something like that?
This is what we're really. These are like the cream of the crop right here. That's a Tinctorius.
From where?
Brazil.
Brazil. Oh my God! Look at those topaz, dude.
Nuts, right? Freaking incredible. Like you would think that was fake.
That's crazy.
What is this?
Oh, that's a weapon tail. That's also Brazilian.
Looks like a badass Fiji iguana.
From what my esteemed brother Marcus tells me, they die really well.
Not surprised.
Oh, sorry. Thorny-tailed iguanas. My bad. Still
I
awesome.
like the Atlantis a lot too. I like these because it's just the mostly black.
Mm-hmm. Go back to the tinks, the Brazilian tinks on the person's hand. Let me see them, if you don't mind. Yeah, that right there. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, they are super cool.
Marcus, let's get them.
TCS, the guy at TCS Dart Frogs just imported some from Europe. He got like a huge group of them. So in the next couple of years, I'm hoping they'll be available and I can get my hands on some. But it will be a long time before that happens.
That's why we got to get Captain Brick Farm stuff.
mean, I don't even know that you call them morphs, but I mean, the tinks come in so many varieties. It's insane.
I mean, it would just be phenotype, right?
And like region.
Marcus, don't get me aroused, bro. Don't do it. Don't friggin' do it. I'm gonna be shipping Justin boxes full of frogs. Katie's gonna be so fucking mad at me.
She'll be all right.
Like, look, these ones are really pretty though. These are prettier than all the other ones.
I don't know what it is about them that it's so makes me so obsessed.
What, just these tanks or just darts in general?
It's just darts in general. Like I really want some of these Uakari, Ranatomea, these thumbnails.
Yeah, those are the tiny ones.
These things are freaking sweet, man. Especially like the gold legs.
Wasn't there a subspecies, or it was a species of Ranatomea? The little guys.
Ranatomea.
Ranatomea, right?
Ranatomea.
Tomea. There's no N.
There's no N.
Okay, that's how I'm fucking this up. Okay. There was a species that I guess it got extinct before it was described. You heard about that? I guess it was like the late 90s, is that they had a
it's probably in that book that I have that I haven't started reading yet.
Okay, it was a species of Ranatomea, and it was, I guess they discovered it in some kind of forest that was all private property, and they got like 60 frogs out, and then they took them all back alive to labs, and I guess while they were writing the scientific journal, the owner of the land was like, I need more cattle land, and just bulldozed it.
Nice.
Done, gone. That was it.
I need a male Southern Variabilis still. I think hopefully Ryan Reed was buying a few of them, and then he was going to wait for a male to pop up in that group, and I was going to trade him some Vanzolini for it.
Oh, that's you got 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've got some. I've got a proven female. I just need a male.
Oh, cool.
But they're gorgeous frogs too. I mean, the freaking fade from like green to blue is just incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I like how they have more of a traditional frog body. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're more like leopard frog looking. They don't look like a hunchback tink, you know? Marcus,
I love like the bony structure though of some of them.
I like them, man. I do. I really do. I want to do it. I just can't do it. Can't deal with the flies. Can't deal with the plants. I cut that green thumb off a long time ago. Never grew back.
Yeah, I need to figure out the familiar situation. Figure out.
Get another wise cam.
What's going on? Why is there just a giant crane fly kicking back here?
Because you in the swamps of South Carolina. Hen Dog, if you're still listening, I was reminded by Justin earlier today that we have a King Cobra article to write, my friend.
Dude, I want that article so bad. I want off-the-wall stuff like that. I don't want it to be just care articles and like how-tos. Like I want interesting, like off the beaten path kind of ideas and interesting, different content, you know.
Well, I was going to meet up with the jumping spider kid this last week, but COVID-19 kind of fucked that all up. So I talked to him and I was like, hey, listen, I still want to do that article on jumping spiders. So we got to meet up because I think he told me right now he's over 200 regalis spider rigs.
Jeez.
Yeah. All different localities too. So, and he's got more coming. He's just raising up. Basically, every time he gets an egg sac, he keeps every single baby and individually containers every single baby. I'm like, dude, you're fucking nuts. But he's doing it, man. Nobody else is doing it. And dude, I foresee jumpers to, especially regalis, to become way more trendy. I mean, maybe not as trendy.
Yeah, they're already like on their way up.
They are.
What's she doing?
She's leaving.
That is.
Yep. Oopsie.
What's up, princess?
Dad is my babysitter.
Did you bring Dad ice cream or no?
No. We didn't get any tonight.
That's no excuse. That look. Henry, we're going to do an article on a brief synopsis of the different locality variations of Opiopegus hana.
I don't know what that means.
That's King Cobras.
King Cobras, girl. King Cobra, girl.
You tell Phil about your obsession with King Cobras?
No.
You like King Cobras?
No.
There was a point in time where she repeatedly told us that she wanted to hunt a King Cobra.
Sorry.
And kill
That's
it.
fine.
Don't know why, but
And eat it for dinner.
eat it for dinner.
They don't taste very good from what I'm told.
Yeah.
Marcus says they make a great sake, though.
They also make a really good bow tie.
Maybe. Be a lot of bow ties.
They make like a bunch of them. And my babysitter.
I want pictures of different areas they come from, though, Henry.
Yeah, we got to.
I want examples of the different, like the Chinese and the Malaysians.
There's a lot of them at Walmart.
King Cobras?
King Cobra bow ties?
Well, Walmart has King Cobra bow ties, in case you were
So
wondering.
I'm told.
Yeah, for the wedding, for you and Mom's wedding.
Oh yeah, Justin's wearing.
They're getting married.
That's not the microphone, that's my ear.
married. Snake bow tie.
They're getting married.
It's your bedtime, little girl.
No.
Say
You
good
know-
night.
Rocky and I show up with the suit from Dumb and Dumber. Good night.
Hmm?
I said, Cox and I are going to show up with the suits from Dumb and Dumber.
That'd be awesome. I wouldn't even be mad.
Now I actually have to find them. Damn it. Open my big mouth. That is if we all don't get messed up from COVID-19. Quarantine.
We are keeping an eye on that and wondering if we're going to have to make some adjustments.
You better not. I took vacation time.
I mean, you can still come up here if you want, but
If the National Guard lets me.
that's true. We'll have to smuggle you across state borders.
Yeah. Right?
Damn it.
So.
Fucking $100.
Oh, you cleaned your phone.
I mean, I attempted to, but
You remember that Gecko wooden phone case I have?
yeah.
So for those of you who can see, it is a Nephros Amier. And it's actually gotten really, really dark colored from like the oils in your hand and stuff. And I want to clean it, but I don't know how. Wood. It still looks pretty good. And I throw it around, bang it around. I thought it came out pretty good.
Damn it.
It's a phone case, bro.
I know, but I chew my fingernails like relentlessly, so I have nothing but nubs.
That's what she said. So what happened to all of our people talking? I feel like it's just nobody's chiming in anymore. Did everyone leave?
I want King Cobra article.
Henry, give the man what he
It
wants.
doesn't even have to be anything super in depth. Just be like, there's a lot of variation between King Cobras. Here's one from Thailand. Here's one from China. Here's one from Malaysia. Here's one from Jacksonville. Like,
Henry, if you want,
Whatever.
I mean, you've got all the contacts, bro, and international as fuck. Get us some pictures. I'll come over the house. I won't breathe on your wife because of the corona. And we can hash it out. You can tell me what to write. I'll write it. You can dictate to me, and we'll produce it. Nice. Thomas knows what's up. Get on that cigar.
her herping article that you sent me most recently will be in this next issue.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Yay.
I know that I mentioned it was going to be in like the last one, but it
That's
just
all right.
we got so full up on space.
That's fine. No big deal. It's cool.
It got pretty hectic for a minute there.
Hey, man, that Stogies article is worth it.
That one was
And the Bangkok herping was fucking worth it.
that one was great. The Spilotes one, it was just like I when I took it, I didn't really pay much attention to it, and I didn't realize just how large it was.
Yeah.
And so when I was actually like laying it out, I was like, oh my god, this is literally like a third of the magazine. It's ridiculous.
Again, worth it. It's cool.
Thank you, Thomas.
I concur, Thomas. I concur. The article I wrote you for the herping, the goal, I don't want to give away too much if people are listening, but the goal was not to have an actual ending or a conclusion. The goal is basically to keep it open-ended so that people could come with their own interpretation. Did that come across correctly in your opinion?
I need to read over the whole thing again. Truthfully, I have not.
It's fine. Witching hour?
I don't know.
It is a school night.
No, kids are out of school because of the virus.
Oh, look, Phil's joke.
I don't get it.
You don't remember that old joke? It's a school night. Can't stay up late. Never mind. I'm running on fumes. It's late anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, stats-wise for the new issue, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, we're almost at 300 already.
Nice. And it went out the 28th, technically?
27th.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm happy.
Awesome. Check my Instagram. Which one, Henry? What did you
The
do?
Knobtails. Read the messages.
The Knobtails. All about the knobbity knob. Dude, I'm so fucked, man. I did not, prep anything. All my shit's late. I didn't cool appropriately. My feeding schedules are all messed up. Part of me wants to be like, screw pairing up any geckos this year. The other part of me is like, nah, man, just throw them together and see what happens. You know? I don't know. Oh, what should I do? Should I try and be a good boy and do it the right way, or should I just throw them together and see what happens?
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
All my professionalism this season literally went out the fucking window. It did.
Good night.
Good night, buddy.
Good night.
Love you.
Oh, man.
Love you too, Dad.
Henry, don't send that shit on Instagram. Send it on a text message so that I can show the viewers what you're sending me. Oh my God, I have 46 missed messages from the cream chat. Oh my God. Well, just to go back to what we were talking about with the King Cobras.
Be a bitch. I like it.
Thanks, Marcus. Thanks. Where's this king that Henry sent me? Oh, look at this triumphant guy. Oh, look at this.
Ooh. See, that's cool. Like, that looks different. That's clearly not like other kings that you've seen.
Yeah.
There should be an article that shows these things.
Yeah, there should be. There really should be. And then
like, you don't see other magazines doing stuff like that, man. I was thinking about it today. I was like, we're not getting interesting enough. Like, we need more. Like the stuff Casey was talking about at Carver Fest. Like, I need to message him about that again because I really want that. You know, like opinion pieces. Like, I'm gonna do opinion pieces. I'm gonna do one in this next issue. It's gonna, like, you know how everyone complains about tire kickers and stuff.
Right.
I'm basically gonna talk about how, like, if you're selling reptiles as a business, suck it up and deal with it because they're a part of it.
Yeah, I told you.
You're gonna have to deal with it.
I did that. Look at that one.
Jeez, looks like a freaking Death Adder, dude.
It does. Look at those black bands, the black outline on the bands. The thing is Lekka. Find another one. Yeah, I told you I felt bad about that one guy I'm dealing with the Lepidus because, I mean, clearly he's a great guy and he knows his shit. He's a great breeder, but I just don't. I don't want to throw $500 at something. You know what I mean? During all this,
right, but at least you were honest enough to tell him that. You didn't just go to him and be like, "I'm not going to answer you."
Right, exactly.
It's just the thing. Like, if you're gonna be selling animals, you're gonna deal with that kind of stuff. You can't get your cake and eat it too. You're not gonna be able to sell animals and not deal with tire kickers. Like,
right.
Especially, and it kills me the most when you see guys post an ad where they don't post the price of the animal and then they're like, no tire kickers. It's like, well, now you're just asking for it because people are going to message you asking the price. When they see it's too expensive, they're just not going to respond. They're going to be like, okay, thanks.
But see,
their
thought process is, if you're interested in this animal, you would know what it's actually worth. You know what I mean? Like, I get that with some of the knobtail guys, like guys that post black asper. And like, for example, Supreme Gecko had black asper, and he put up there, it's like serious inquiries only. Well, that right there, I think, is much better than saying don't waste my time or whatever, because that, to me, that immediately says they're expensive. So if you are not prepared to spend a lot of money, but then you get the people that are like, hey, I don't know what a lot of money is. Maybe they're just getting into knobtails. Maybe they're just getting into geckos. Maybe they don't know what an asper is. You know what I mean? They don't know it's $5,000, you know?
Well, a prime example is there's a dude on Instagram that was selling a pair of Cynodon.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know if they're captive bred or wild caught. So he didn't put a price. So I messaged, like, how much you selling this for? He was like, $800 for the pair. I was like, okay, thanks. You know, just I don't have $800 to throw at that, you know?
Right.
But it's like, if you don't put a price, you're going to have a million people ask you, how much is it? And then you're never going to hear from them again, you know?
Yeah.
So it's part of the dance. You're just going to have to deal with it. And it's like, Jeff Godbold is the worst when it comes to that. He's like, you know, be ready to like come to play ball. Don't waste my time. You know, don't.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'll show it to you. It's on Fauna, dude. This isn't like
throw up the Cobra picture.
Trade secret.
Henry, you're gonna have to remind me which. I think this was. I guess you told me it was Sumatran. Is this one? If Justin gets a chance to throw it up.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Look at that thing.
I
Thing is awesome. It's got like a Crebo tail going on.
Yeah.
Bright orange. And and Henry, send me the mangrove picture again, because I'd like to throw that up, and I don't think I have it. But yeah, show me what this douche canoe is saying.
Let me find it.
Medan? Where's Medan?
Here we go. So it says, no payment plans.
Is this for the Cyania?
No, this is for some Amazon Trebos. It says, no payment plans or trades. Also, do not PM me on here, as it will not give you a quick response. Also, do not inquire unless you're ready to play ball with the full asking price. I will black mark people from here on out that reach out, ask 20 questions, and reply with, okay, I get paid in 2 weeks, or okay, I'll see what my wife says. I.e., get your crap sorted out before you waste my time, be an adult, and come to play ball. As always, by purchasing, you are stating you have read and agreed to my terms. La 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 la. Whatever. It's like, dude, if it's that much of a hassle, just stop selling animals. Just stop selling snakes.
Yeah, like for example, like I would almost rather him not reply to people and not be a douche canoe. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to reply to the email. You don't have to reply to the DM. Just fucking leave it alone. You know, ignore them, whatever.
I've said it, I think, on THP, but you save yourself a lot of disappointment if you go into pretty much like any inquiry, like someone emails you or messages you on Facebook asking like chondros. I have people message me all the time asking if I have chondros. I fully expect people to ask a price, me tell them, and then like ghost me basically.
Yeah.
Like I go into it not expecting it to get a sale, and that's fine. Like whatever. It doesn't bother me.
What kills me?
If you don't get your hopes up, you know.
Right. What kills me is people ask me at least once a week, random ass strangers, people that aren't even following me, people that I've never heard of, whatever. Or better yet, they come at me with an Instagram account that has 0 posts and 8 followers. No pictures, no nothing. No information, just says Bob or whatever. And I'm only to assume they're out of the country. And they send messages that are most likely translated poorly, or it's a United States public school system doing a shit job. It basically says, you have knob gecko for sale. And I usually reply with, no, I'm sorry, I do not right now. And they go, why? And I'm like, okay, even if this is a language barrier, which most of the time is not, it's just some asshole. What kind of question is that? I don't have them. Like, what do you want me to say? The whole story about how I fucked up my season, or I sold them all, or I fed them off to the goddamn house cat. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I don't have them. You know? Or better yet, I get people that ask me very politely, hey, do you sell any geckos? No, I do not. Okay, thanks anyway. Do you know who might have them? No problem. I'll send you in the right direction.
Yeah, I get that all the time with contras. Do you know anybody who has any for sale? And I'm like, yeah, go to this person, this person. I don't know if they have anything right now, but I know they were working on something. Like, hit them up.
Right. Or better yet, hey, I went into this local shop and they had knobtail XYZ for sale. Is this an appropriate price? They may even send me a cell phone picture. Now, I don't like to step on toes. You know what I mean? I want everyone to make money. I want to live in a capitalist society. If the price is normal or maybe a little high, I'll usually reply with something like, I prefer not to answer those kind of questions. The animal seems like it's in good health. Use your best judgment. If it's super low, I'll be like, yeah, that's a great price. Go for it. You know what I mean? If the price is astronomical, I'll say something like, hey, you might want to do a little more homework. I don't want to be like, that guy's a fucking tool and he's charging $600 over what it's worth. No, I'm not going to say that. But,
Cox, I don't.
Cox, if you're just chiming in now, it's been decided that you and I are going to get the Dumb and Dumber tuxedos for Justin's wedding.
Who's going to be who, though? Who's going to be Harry and who's going to be Lloyd?
Oh, I don't care. I'll be Harry. Samsonite. I was way off. Austria. Lovely. Let's put another shrimp on the Barbie. Nice.
Yeah, pending if this virus doesn't completely ruin everything.
Sorry if I just invited Cox to your wedding.
Thanks, Phil.
Fuck. Oops. Sorry, Katie.
There's going to be more of my reptile buddies there than, like, family.
Isn't that how it should be? We're the chosen family. chosen family. The family you get to choose.
Pretty bird, pretty bird.
That is true. I would totally have a parakeet with scotch tape wrapped around its neck.
His head fell off.
Oh my God, Henry, that is not the mangrove I was talking about, but that's getting screen shared. Whatever the fuck that thing is amazing.
The mangrove. What?
What?
And Henry's gonna sit here and say, like, in all seriousness,
There's only 2 types, Brandon.
there's only 2 types. Get out of here! You're only making this worse. Actually, you're only making it. I will hunt you down and make this happen. I'll even make it the feature so that there's like a freaking like the cover has a king on it.
Dude, you get cover art, bro. Cover. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to call Tom Carlton and be like, hey, we're putting together a who's who of King Cobra localities. We need your pictures. Obviously, we're going to credit him. Who better to take pictures than fucking the Tom Carlton? And he'll be stoked to have it in the magazine. I mean, he may want money, but we'll figure that out.
Who is Tom Carlton from Fresh Prince?
No, not that Carlton. Tom Carlton is
he on Instagram?
He's definitely on Instagram. It's under Stand the fuck by. Hold on. Eco Encounters, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, let's find him.
Yeah, I follow him already, dude. Oh, he's got New Guinea small-eyed snakes. That's pretty cool.
He won't tell Henry or I because Henry and I are nosy as fuck and we're fanboys from hell. But he won't tell us, but he's doing something with High Speed Elapids in PNG. And I really, really hope it's a book, like an actual book on Pseudechis and Oxyuranus of Papua New Guinea, because that would just get me rock fucking hard. But he's like, we're putting something together. He's like super humble about it. It's adorable. And then I don't know if you saw this, but he found on expedition in the north regions of Sulawesi, he found a Sulawesi king cobra, which is one of the rarest king cobra localities in the world. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at that shit. Look at that.
I just scrolled past that one, I think. Maybe not.
That is amazing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it was just the baby. There wasn't an older one?
No, man. They're like ghosts of the jungle, dude. Apparently no one sees them.
That's freaking sweet, dude. All the Tropidolaemus that he has on here, too, is just...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, the Laticinctus, fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, look at that Chinese banded.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to that one you just showed. Yeah. Look, you got Cox's attention. You had him at Sulawesi.
I know, right? Cox is all about that island. I love this picture. I mean, it's a horrible, horrible picture when you think about it, but that's an amazing picture.
I want an article on Insularis. Ooh.
On the what?
Insularis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Asmiops. Is that how you pronounce those?
What is it?
Those Asmiops, the fees.
Oh. As a Mesopsphere?
Yeah. I was obsessed with those as a kid. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, man. I had friends that had them. I want them. I would totally keep them. Especially now that like we as herpers and keepers know more about, I'm not going to say montane. It grosses me out now that I say montane. About mountain species. I think this is the ultimate pet, man, because I get to enjoy my cool air conditioning, and so does the animal.
You know what would also be a good article? Something that talks about the difference between Cryptolytrops, Trimeresurus, Tropidolaemus, Parias, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That freaking Schultz eye, dude.
I know, right? I know.
God.
I saw it. Crazy.
Those things freaking kill me, man. Like,
Yeah, dude. Tom's the man. He's living the dream. He does herp trips too. He just finished putting out his book of snakes of peninsular Malaysia and Singapore. It's got the redhead crate on the cover. Awesome. Henry, I want you to call me right now. I'm putting on speakerphone, and I want you to pronounce that name of that town in China. Right now, bro. Do it. Do it. Better yet, if you're on, I wish you were on a real computer, not watching this on your couch, because I would totally have you jump in this link right now, and then show us some shit. Oh no, my name is Henry, and I'm bashful. Meh. Oh!
oh, you ain't bad.
That's the mangrove I wanted him to show you.
I remember, yeah, you showed that before when we were talking about this last time. We were.
Oh, here we go, and the phone's gonna die too, so we got to be quick with this.
Shishwambana.
Wait. Hold on, I gotta find out where the microphone is on this computer. Say that one more time.
Shishwambana.
Shishwanbana.
Yeah. That's Western Mountain Yunnan.
Western Mountain Yunnan.
And
So
this
that-
fool says there's only 2 types of kings.
There are only
He
two
can-
types of kings.
He can pronounce that shit, but there's only 2 types of kings.
Right. The Justin, how's the audio? Can you hear him? Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you yelling at me or your wife?
No, me and my wife.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Much more acceptable.
only two. There's bandit and non-bandit. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of awesome stuff in both groups that we can talk about.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so.
All right. So Henry, which is your favorite locality? I know we've talked about this 1,000 times, but I feel like you also change it like you change your socks.
I would probably say Chiang Mai.
See, the
Shanghai.
Malaysians are that's
Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Chiang Mai, Thailand. Okay.
Probably. The southern Andaman Island ones are nice too.
Yeah, you showed me them last week.
The orange ones.
Yeah. So then that mangrove one that Chris Sweet has, that picture of that is actually your contact photo. What locality of mangrove is that?
It's a Western Thai. It's just a Western Thai, man.
So that's that's Andaman Island, southern.
No. It's Western. Okay, I forget the exact location, but there's an area in Western Thailand that's kind of dry in the dry season. That's super, super dry, and that orange one comes from there. But they're not all over the place. They're kind of rare. And you have to understand too that a lot of king cobras change colors throughout their life, so you don't get what you pay for.
Right. Yeah.
Unless it's a Malay, and then you get what you pay for.
Yeah. It's gonna be olive. You know, it's gonna be olive, and that's the end of the story.
Unless you get a Disgusto Javan King or a Malay, you're always it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot because sometimes they may get darker, sometimes they may get lighter. A lot of those reds won't be red ever. So that's the problem basically. I mean, they do a lot of color changing, and that orange one, it may not stay orange.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously adulthood.
My friend Montrese is still orange, but I mean, you don't know if they're going to stay orange. Chris isn't orange anymore.
Really? Okay.
He says it's going to get orange again, but we'll see.
So he's assuming that it's like a hormonal, seasonal type of thing.
No, man, it's just like these guys. They're kind of weird. They just do not have. They sometimes change colors over a lifetime. Like, okay, for example, you have the Semadang King Cobra, which is from West Java, right? And Semadang, sometimes they're black. That one that I showed you looks like a forest cobra.
Yeah, that thing's fucking amazing.
Super cool, coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But the problem is, it'll start like that, and it'll stay like that, and then unless you buy one that's like, I don't know, it may shed one day and it may turn regular Java Indonesian Disgusto, or an ash color, which is not too bad, but that kind of stuff happens. But it happens a lot. It happens more frequently than you would think.
And it's definitely not a seasonal thing. Like,
No, I mean, yeah, there's a seasonal thing, but it's not okay. Like,
but it's not dramatic like inland taipans.
Yes and no, because like for example, okay, that sheet trombone I was talking about, right?
Right.
It was 3 years. My friends was 3 years old. It was black and white banded all year long, and then in the winter it got just black. It lost the bands.
Like completely, or just faded out there where the
Completely lost the bands. The only time you could tell any bands were around it is if it puffed and puffed, and then you would see some little bit of banding. But essentially, you had a black snake with whatever color that it had. That's it.
wow.
Very cool, actually. But then in the summertime, it was black, which is usually the winter time for everybody else when they get black. Then it got black with white bands. Gorgeous. And then the other day it shed, and it's no longer black.
Okay.
It's like an ashy looking. It's actually very nice. It looks like a northern tie, and it probably is a northern tie because Yunnan, some parts of Burma, northern and western tie is the same snake, basically.
By the way, thank you for saying Burma, not Myanmar.
Yeah, fuck Myanmar. Sorry, I'm sorry we're on YouTube. But, yeah, and then southern ties in Malays and Singapore is the same animal too.
Okay. So what you're saying is that as soon as the corona scare is over, I'm coming to the house with a laptop, and we're going to jot down some notes and get this fucker written, right?
Perhaps.
Bro, you know that between you and I, we can hammer out 1,000 words in like 3 hours.
Oh my God, 1,000
3 hours?
1,000 words.
Takes you that long to do 1,000 words?
Yeah, just don't get me going.
It takes a village.
What's that?
It takes a village.
Yeah, it does. But actually, they're trying to split them up into 5 species, which I think is bullshit.
Just
Right.
like forest cobras. They're like, oh, wait.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
There's actually a million of these.
if you look at a genetic profile of them, which I have, the southern ones like southern Thai and I would venture to say Indonesian too, but southern Thais, the ones that have the chevrons. The
Right?
chevron ones are one animal, and the banded ones are another animal. The banded ones never get as big. I'm sure somebody has, but I haven't seen anybody breed a banded to a chevron. I don't even know if it's possible.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody's done it, maybe, but the problem you have also is that one is so much bigger than the other that, it's a snack. I mean, let's say you get a 13-foot Malayan male and a 6-foot Chinese female.
Yeah.
They
Dinner.
do it.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill her.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But that's why. And I haven't.
Fucking cocks. Are they sounding out words? That's,
What?
Cox puts on there. He goes, "Are they fucking sounding out words?" That's why I was asking if you guys can hear the speakerphone appropriately, or if it's just coming out as gibberish and fuzz.
Is it gibberish?
No.
If not, I'll write it down. It don't matter.
Yeah, well, we're gonna write it down, motherfucker.
I mean, write it down like right now.
No.
Uh-huh.
All right. All joking aside, my phone is gonna die, so I'm hanging up with you.
Okay. Back to
Thank you
chat.
for your insight. I love you. Goodbye.
Yeah, you got it. Bye.
I love how we didn't even say I love you back.
Oh, he does. He does.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to admit it. He keeps it deep inside.
He does. That's my. Oh, and then look, and then I got Marcus sending me this shit. Oh God, look at this shit now. Oh, what's wrong with my friends? Share that up there. Look at that. Oh, it's a live photo. Let's.
What does that mean?
Why is it not showing? There it is.
I'm pretty sure I thought they called live photos videos.
No. On the new Apple, you can do a live photo where it's like a micro video. Yeah. So yeah, Henry knows a lot about fucking king cobras, but he's a poop head, and he won't sit down and write it down with me.
We'll get him.
Yeah.
Whether he wants to or not, we will get the information
Yes.
we want.
We have ways of making you talk.
But I believe it is bedtime.
Yes, sir.
I will
Thank
have. Is Sir Marcus on Facebook?
He's on Facebook and he's on Instagram. Marcus, which Instagram would you like to promote, sir?
I'm gonna find his ass right now. Hey,
Find him.
popped right up. Good old internets. Find anybody. Dude, we're already friends on here.
I told you guys.
Jesus.
There you go.
When did that happen?
I don't know. At some point. Marcus is a very, very extensive herpetoculturist career. He has lived in places such as Singapore, South Africa, Pennsylvania, Brazil, and to name a few. And his collection of reptiles is not as dynamic as it used to be, but he has a good little selection of what he's got going on right now. Some colubrids, some vipers, some stuff. I gave him a baby Brettles. It died. Sad panda. But yeah.
We're already friends.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Thank you for another excellent episode 18. Thank you to everyone who's stuck around and actually watched this thing to the very end.
I'm following him on Instagrams now too. So
Nice. Sharing the love. I like it when Marcus and Henry both send me pictures of them watching us on their TV from their couch. That makes me smile. As if my head wasn't big enough already.
your poor children.
Right? Oh, man. All right. Good night, man.
Cox is so bored he's playing Zoo Tycoon.
I literally envisioned him in one of those gamer chairs with the giant headphones and
a big gulp.
a big
Bag
gulp.
of beef jerky.
But it's not even like it's not Xbox. It's on like an old Dell, and it's just Zoo Tycoon.
That and The Sims, and he's like making the Sims characters have sex and stuff, and then making them put the babies on the grill and like.
Sims characters don't have time for sex. They've got jobs to do. He's going through work withdrawals, the poor bastard.
He's like, can't be late for work. Gotta go.
Somebody's got to work around here. Sorry, Cox. I'm sorry. Goddamn furlough nonsense. All right. Good night, everybody.
Oh, see y'all later.
Goodbye.
I don't think you're joking. I'm entirely serious. You're probably in your freaking skivvies sitting there in the darkness playing Zoo Tycoon
Yes.
with the big gulp and bag of beef jerky.
That's it. All right. Goodbye.
Later.